Hello and welcome to another video. I am Debbie. Today I have my weekly WiP Chat, and if you are not familiar with a WiP Chat, that is a work in progress, and I am going to be working on my diamond painting, and this one is Alice in a White Rabbit House by Diamond Art Club. It has 59 colors and it is a square. It was one of my older ones that I had in my stash. So wanted to work on that. Also was going to work on it for Alice in a Winter Wonderland. And that actually ends tomorrow, which is your today. And I'm still going to be working on it. I'm still going to do it for that event. I wasn't officially in the event anyway, but I wanted to go ahead and get this done. And I'm working on this one rather slowly. But I do have other WIPs that I'm working on. And so I just work on this one in between the other ones. So I'm going to go ahead and get started. I am using my Mad Wood Turning pen. I just love this pen. I love the size of it. I love that it's a hybrid. It has the wood on one end, and then on the other end it is clear resin. You can see butterflies and flowers floating in it. And I think it is just absolutely gorgeous. I'm also using my cat-proof tray. This is the larger one, and I am just in love with these trays. I just really started using them recently, and I only have a few colors, but I can see that I'm going to be collecting some more of these. I'm also using Randa's Crafty Corner Harvest Spice Putty, and this smells really good. I mean, even though it's fall, it just smells really good, and so I've been kind of using that one more so than some of my winter ones, but I really do like it. And I am going to be single placing today. It's just easier when I am doing squares also, and when I am trying to do this in film, and especially the way I have my camera, the arm for my camera. And so it makes it a little more difficult to try to, for me anyway, to try to multi-place. But I do like to multi-place. This one has had quite a bit of confetti. It took me a while to where I actually liked this canvas, and I do like it. It's getting to where I like it even more as I'm working on it, as I can see it coming together. But it's still, I'm afraid it's still not going to be one of my favorites, and I'm not exactly sure why. I have a couple of thoughts on it, and I will share those once I complete it. Seems like I've been working on this thing forever. If I ever complete it, then I will definitely have a review, and then I will let you guys know. But I do enjoy this. I am enjoying it. It's taking me a little bit longer to enjoy it. But I have several other WIPs going. I'm always diamond painting. I mean, every day I diamond paint. I try to at least a couple hours a day. Doesn't always happen, but I do try to diamond paint a couple hours a day. But I have so many work in progress right now, and I'm kind of rotating. I'll get one row finished, put that one up, and then go to another one. So that's why I haven't gotten a whole lot done, but I'm enjoying doing that right now. So how is everybody doing? Let me know in the comments. And what are you working on? Are you using this just as a podcast to rest and relax, or to clean, or are you working alongside me? And it's totally up to you, whatever you want to do. I will do both when I listen to WiP Chats. A lot of times I am diamond painting. It seems that I can diamond paint faster because I know that someone else is diamond painting with me. So that makes it really cool. And then sometimes I will be at work and I just have my earbuds on and I'm listening to YouTube and I am working, grading papers or whatever, and that makes the time go by faster. So that makes it really nice too. And right now I am doing a lot of the outlining. When there's outlines, I like to do the outline part first in a section. And I do like to section off my kit. And it's really funny how things change, or at least, for me, because when I started out, I had to use release paper. and I had to have it a certain way. I like certain release papers. I would spend forever getting my release paper just right. And then I started to where I'd only put release paper on a couple of rows. And then every time that I would get to, I'd finish that row or finish that section, I would go ahead and I would move the release paper a little bit, move it up. And so now I really like this washi method to where I am sectioning off my canvas, and I will, once I complete a section, then I will move my washi up to the next row, and it works for a couple of rows, and then my washi starts to look rough and it starts to tear up, and so then I just go ahead and put some more washi down. I have plenty of washi, and so I will just do that, but it beats having to go through the entire canvas and having to measure, so I like doing it that way. These drills are actually pretty good considering that this is an older kit. It's the older drills. It is still shiny. I haven't had a lot of trash with this, but I have had some popping drills, some drills that didn't fit very well, and that is kind of annoying. And it could be the way that I was actually trying to diamond paint. I was doing it on a small table, and I'm not really good with that. I like to have my stuff downstairs in my craft room, but that could be part me, so I want to see before I definitely say that it has problems. I think the problem could be me. Let me see what all has happened this week. During my WiP chats, I like to talk about life, about my kids, and someone told me, they like to listen because then it's like a soap opera. They want to know what's happened with my kids or my husband or whatever, so I find that to be really funny. And our life really isn't a soap opera because to me, my life is extremely boring. To others, I mean, it's good for me, but we don't really do that much. Some weeks we'll do some things, but usually not too much. Last week was kind of an exciting week because my daughter had something going on, so that was nice, and I'll discuss that. And then my oldest daughter called me about 3 times, I guess, last week, so that was really nice too. But I mean, we really don't go anywhere. We're homebodies. We like to do things at home. We like to play games as a family, board games, and watch TV. My daughter loves to game. Both of them do. And I don't so much. I'm trying to do that with her some, but I just hate to tell her it's just not my thing. And she gets really excited. She's trying to teach me, and I'm willing to learn some of this, but to me it is just not, it's not very much fun. I'm just not a gamer. And even when I was younger, I played some of the games. I thought it was okay, but it just wasn't something that really excited me because I'm on the computer all the time at work. And when I was younger, I was on the computer for work as well as school. And so it's just that I think that I prefer it better when I can just diamond paint or do something else and I just watch her when she plays her games. So this past week, we went and found my daughter a dress, which was a good thing because we found one last week, but she wasn't sure if she wanted the long version of it or and there it goes popping again. I really hope I do not have problems with this kit the entire time that I'm working on this, because if it keeps popping, I may just have to ditch this and do something else. I don't know. It's very unusual for a diamond art club, but again, this one's really old. I don't know if that has anything to do with it. It also doesn't help that my washi is coming off. Okay, so hopefully that's not going to be a problem going forward. Okay, anyway, so she did decide on the dress that she wanted. She decided on what tights that she wanted. She already had the shoes that she felt comfortable wearing, so that's what we did. And she went to Night to Shine on Friday night. And if you're not familiar with Night to Shine, I have mentioned it on prior chats, But Night to Shine is sponsored by the Tim Tebow Foundation, and it is for a special needs dance. They set it up like a prom, and they have to be at least 14 years old. But the participants for Night to Shine, they can be adults as well. The stipulation is that they do have to have a disability. It doesn't have to be documented. I guess they just assume that you're going to be honest. They never asked. They know us, but they've never asked, as far as I know, for documentation. And I don't think that they would. But Tim Tebow sponsors this. It's all around the world, and it is the same night every year, and it's for the same time. It's really cool because you can watch other countries and other places on big screens, and you can see what they're doing, and it's almost the same time frame as what we're doing, depending on time zones and everything. But they have different hosting places that will do this, and they work with the foundation. The foundation will send them a lot of free things, and then they also get sponsorships from the community. So the foundation actually will send them corsages and boutonnieres for the boys, men, I guess. And then they will also send a bag that says Night to Shine, and then you have sponsors that put items in the bag for you that will sponsor for that event. And then they have crowns that they will give all the participants. And then they just have a lot of fun. They had face painting. They had a really good DJ who played a lot of the songs that these kids are familiar with. And they had different booths where you could have your picture made and, just do different silly things, hats and different things. And they had nails that you could do and massages for the parents, for the caregivers. And so it was just a wonderful, magical night. And these kids come together. They only see each other sometimes at these events, and they can just be themselves. They don't have to worry about anybody else making fun of them. It is something that they enjoy doing, and they just let loose, and watching them is just amazing. It is just so much fun to watch these kids. They go on the red carpet, and they're acknowledged, and then everyone is crowned king and queen of the prom. And they do this at the same time where everyone puts their crowns on, and it's a really big deal for these kids. And really it's a big deal for us parents because we don't get to see our kids having the same type of enjoyment as other kids because of the fact that others will see them as possibly different, and they don't want to do things with them, which is really sad. But they do have buddies that volunteer, and Paige's buddy was somebody that we didn't know, and her name was Allison, and she was actually an 11th grader at one of the high schools here. And that was really interesting because I thought that she was in college. She didn't look like an 11th grader. She was super nice, and her and Paige had a wonderful time. She really got Paige laughing and cutting up, got her shyness out. They were dancing all night and just having a really good time. And so I was so grateful to her, sent her a thank you note and a little gift card. And then for the parents, we had a catered meal, and it was from a new restaurant. I think it's maybe a year old now, but we haven't ever been there, and we didn't even really know where this restaurant was, but we passed it when we dropped her off for the bus. They put these kids on buses, the ones that wanted to, so they had a party bus that went about 2.5 miles down to where the event was being held, and then they let them out of the bus one by one, helped them out, and then they got to walk the red carpet, and everybody was screaming and, you know, yelling and cheering them on, and it was just a magical night from then on. And then with us, we were able to sit and enjoy our meal and talk to other parents. And then also they had a band that was really good, and they had massages for us, neck massages. The line was really long for that one, but it was really nice, and everything was free. You didn't pay for anything. They wouldn't take any tips. They just wanted you to have, you know, just a really good time. And as a gift, they gave the parents or the caregivers, they gave us a bundt cake. And if you've heard of Nothing Bundt Cake, we have one here. I'm assuming that it's like a franchise, but they have these small little cakes. They look like bundt cakes, and they have different flavors. And so we were able to choose the one that we wanted. I got lemon, and my husband got chocolate chip, and he said it was really good, but it was really rich. But my lemon bundt cake was amazing. So we did that, and then from there we played Kahoot. My husband had never played Kahoot, and that was fun because it gives you 4 options, and then you're competing with whoever, you know, is in the room. And the first game that we did, we came in like dead last. There was like 55 people that were played, and I think we were, well, actually we came in second to last. We were 54th, and so that was kind of funny. But then on the second game, we came in 12th, and then my husband went to try to get some pictures of my daughter, and so we were in between games, and then while he was gone, we played another game of Kahoot, and I came in 7th. I was second for a long time, and then there was a question that I had no idea. It was from, I think, the Golden Girls. They did like shows, and this was the Golden Girls. I had no idea. So that one brought me down a little bit, but they had questions about Urkel and, you know, just different older shows. So that was fun. And then the next game that he played with me, we came in 12th, and that was out of like 60 people. So that was a lot of fun. And we also won a free gift certificate. We just had, it was a raffle drawing, and they just happened to have drawn our stub, and we won a $25 gift certificate to the restaurant that actually catered. So I'm excited about that, and I want to go and see what this restaurant looks like. Even if we decide just to go and have like dessert or something one night, I want to see what it looks like. I want to see their menu because we could not find them online. The only one that we found online was in Tennessee, and it was some kind of a fish restaurant with the same name. And I told my husband, I don't think that's it because they're not going to cater all the way from Chattanooga to here, which is about 2.5, 3 hours. So we were looking at the wrong place. So I'm really interested to see if I can't find their website. And I don't even have one. But I would love to go and eat there one night, so we may do that. But Paige had such a wonderful time, and there were several of her friends that she didn't know was going to be there, and they were actually there, so that was fun. She really liked that a lot, getting to see them, and a couple have already aged out of the program that she's in, so she got to spend some time with them, and her best friend was there, and they rode in a limo together and did a couple other things together. So that was a lot of fun. And then they did the conga line, which they always love doing that. But it was a really nice time. We met some new people that we had not seen there before. One lady had a service dog, and her dog was only 19 months and gorgeous black lab. And the dog was so well behaved. And I told my husband I would love to train our collie and to have her as a service dog, because I've thought about having a service dog for my daughter for a long time. And my collie absolutely adores my daughter. She was the first one that my collie went to let us know that she wanted to go home with us when we were looking at animals. And she's always been really fond of Paige. Even if Paige doesn't see her every day, she minds her better than any of us, and she's just really good with her. And if she thinks she's in danger, she will start herding her around like the kind of dogs that they are. And so I thought we could probably get a trainer and train Molly to be a really good service dog. But this dog was so good and was just laying around, actually was asleep, was snoring. But as soon as the dog's owner, who I thought that the service dog was for her child, but apparently the service dog was for her. And as soon as she got up, the dog jumped up really quick and was really on alert. And so her husband told the dog, to calm down and to stay, and the dog just laid there, went back to sleep. But when he got up, the dog didn't move, didn't even flinch. So that's how we knew that the service dog was for her. And she said that he just goes, 90 miles an hour when he's at home, just, runs like your typical dog, just is very active until she puts on his little service dog jacket. And once she puts that on him, she said he goes into full alert. But if something is happening with her, he knows, and he will go and he will alert her to whatever problem that he's been trained for. And so I thought that was just really cool, that would be something that we may need to think about in the future. I don't know if Molly would be it or not, because she is older. She will be 3 in September. And I think you have to start these dogs off when they are younger. So I'm not really sure, but I'm going to check that out and just see. I think that having a service dog for her, I think that would help me out a lot, especially if I'm not at home and she's at home by herself, or she's moved out, or whatever that the future holds for her, that a service dog might be something that we need to look into. But my husband looked at this dog and then he looked at me and just died out laughing. He's like, and you want Molly to act that good and just to lay there when there's a bunch of people here and they're eating? Like, well, yeah, you do have a point there. That would be definitely something that we would have to train her for. So that was our Friday night. And we were all exhausted on Saturday. My daughter actually slept till about 10 o'clock. She was so tired on Saturday. She said that her feet were hurting her. And I thought that her legs were hurting her because she does have a little bit of arthritis, and we were expecting some bad weather and for our weather to turn off colder. And she said that she thought it's because of all the dancing that she did. And then her buddy Allison did text me, and she said, forgot to mention last night, she did a lot of dancing. She may be really tired. And Allison is a dance instructor, which I just found that out. And so she said that she was trying to teach Paige a few little moves, easy things. And so Paige was showing us. And so that was a lot of fun. So she really enjoyed her buddy. And I was glad for that, because she had known her buddies for the past couple of years. This is not straight. There we go. That's bugging me. So it was good. It was very good for her. She's still talking about it. And it was good that she just wasn't with us. She was with somebody else and enjoying, their company, and not just being around us all the time. And that worries me too, when she doesn't around too many people, except for school, but mainly us. And then Saturday, we just kind of hung out a little bit. It was an okay day on Saturday morning. And we did go to the store, and I was so dreading it. And so Paige went with me. She likes to pick out snacks for the week. So she went with me, And it was just so horrible to store because they said the 4-letter word here that there's a potential of some snow flurries. Just flurries, not snow. But everybody was going to the store as if we were going to have a blizzard and we were not going to be able to get out for weeks to go to the store, or you're going to absolutely starve because of the snow. We did get some sleet and a few little flurries mixed in with the sleet on Saturday night, early Sunday morning. But Saturday night, we did have high winds. I mean, they were just awful. And we weren't really expecting the high winds. And so I got up on Sunday morning to go and let the dogs out. And I was a little nervous because my husband has a shed in the back of our yard. And he put some yard things in there. And I didn't know what else that he had, if it was anything that was worth any money or anything. I didn't know if the generator was out there or if he put it in another place that we keep a lot of things. And so he was asleep. And I went and woke him up because the doors of the shed were wide open. And so he said that there's nothing out there that was important, that the wind probably knocked the doors open because he didn't really have it locked because he had taken everything that was valuable out. And he said not to worry about it. So, of course, the dogs were very suspicious. And so they went out there and they were checking out the shed and going in and out. And that gave them something to do for a little bit while they were outside. And then it did start snowing a little bit on Sunday morning, but again, it was just mainly sleet. It was just like spitting snow, so we really didn't see anything. And Sunday, I told my husband, I am not getting out. I am just going to relax and do some housework. And then we're going to watch the Super Bowl. That's really big in the U.S. And I'm not into football. He really isn't either, but he always likes to watch the Super Bowl. So we had just had plans just to sit around the house. I was going to make, some munchies for lunch and just, snack during the day and then have chili for dinner. Well, he got a call about 10:30 from his boss that somebody needed something that was from another company in North Carolina, and that could he go and load the truck. And so he said that he could, and they said they would let him know when the delivery person was supposed to be there. So they called him back, asked him if he could possibly get there around noon, and he said, no problem. And so it takes him an hour to get to work. So he left, and he was there until 4:15, just sitting there because he had nothing else to do. They finally sent an email about 1 o'clock saying that the delivery driver was going to be there at 3. And so that, this is what they needed, which he already knew that. Well, then at 3:30, somebody had, or 4:45, someone had called and started asking him questions about who was the manufacturer of this part that they were trying to get from him. And he told them, and they're like, nope, that will not work. We have to have this one. And so he told them, he's like, we do not have that. It is almost impossible to get from that manufacturer. They're made in Switzerland, and we do not keep those on hand. Well, they insisted on the other manufacturer, and my husband told them, he's like, that's fine, but he said, it's the same part. It's just a different manufacturer. The exact same piece, but just, so you can use it on your equipment, but it's just a different manufacturer. And she said, no, they don't want it. So he said, okay, fine. And he went ahead and closed up, contacted his boss and told his boss that they wouldn't accept it. So he wasted all day yesterday and didn't get home till almost 5 o'clock. So he wasn't too happy about that. And he is paid salary. So he makes a certain salary, whether he works the 40 hours or whether he works 60, it doesn't matter. But his boss told him that since he spent almost a whole day up there, to take a half a day off whenever he wanted to when his partner was back from vacation and just not put anything out there for vacation day. So he's going to do that, I think, one day during spring break, and then we're just going to take Paige and do something with her for her spring break. So that was, nice. But because he wasn't home all afternoon, I had already done everything in the house that I had planned on doing, and I got this wild hair last week that I wanted to change my craft room. I wanted to change it up a little bit, that when I am diamond painting and if I am on like a live, or if I am Zooming with my two girls, which I'm putting their information down there too, Kim, and also make sure that you subscribe. The information is going to be below, and so make sure that you subscribe to Kimba's Crafts if you haven't already done so, and also to Angie. And so I'm putting her information down there as well. And Angie's trying her best to get to 500 subs so she has access to the community tab. And she really wants to get to 500 before our event so she can post information underneath that community tab. So we're all rooting for her. And I did get off on a tangent, but I wanted to remember to do that. So anyway, with my craft room, when I am on my Zoom calls with Angie and Kim, and it's fine, they don't care, but what's showing is all of my card supplies, which is okay. Sometimes it's kind of messy on that side of my room, but I wanted it to where when I'm in lives, whenever I decide to do a live, or if I'm invited to somebody else's live, I'd like to have a background of my diamond paintings, or at least something other than my cards, because that's not what my channel's for. It could be, but I don't want to diversify and have more, than one on there, especially since this is for diamond painting. So I got a wild hair last week. I arranged my room. I moved a few things, and then my husband's like, this isn't going to work. And I didn't think about that until he walked down there, and then I'm like, oh, it's not going to work. And he said it as soon as I was thinking it, because it was blocking an area that he has to walk through in order to get to where he keeps a lot of his larger equipment and things that he uses for the house. And so he also has our camera down there set up for our house and everything. So and then I didn't like it anyway because it was kind of cold where I had my table. So I thought yesterday, well, I'm going to go ahead and move it again because it looks messy and I want to do some spring cleaning down there anyway. So I made some cards, made a bunch of cards to go to my church yesterday because they are running low on cards. I did that, and then I rearranged my room as I was making these cards, as I waited for my Cricut, which is a cutting machine. I waited on my cutting machine to cut, and then once it did, while it was doing that, then I was cleaning. So it does look a lot better. I also took a table out that I had in there that I really didn't use, and it makes it look so much bigger down there. It's not so cluttered. I hate clutter. So I went ahead and did that, and then after I finished my cards, I diamond painted some. I got tired of making cards, so I diamond painted some. So I got quite a bit done with him not being home. I mean, it wouldn't have really mattered because on Sundays, he'll do his thing and Paige and I will do ours. She was upstairs and she read a book yesterday. She just kind of laid around. She played some of her games, talked to some of her friends. So it's kind of a low-key day for her. But she's still talking about her Night to Shine event and things that I didn't even know that happened. She kind of brings up every now and then. So that's fun. So she's already looking forward to next year. Hopefully they will have another one inside, because it made all the difference in the world to be inside instead of doing a drive-through again. So that was kind of our weekend. Nothing else happened during the week, really. And let's see, Madison, my oldest, she was having issues with having her hair done. She needed to get her hair colored. She has not had her hair colored or cut since she's moved to South Dakota back in November. And so she said she really needed to get her hair done. And she found a place. She said that they had gotten really good reviews. And I told her to ask some of her coworkers first before she just off and goes somewhere, because they may not do a really good job. And lo and behold, they didn't. So she had a specific color that she's had before, and it's copper. It has some red in it. It has some copper, red, and some blonde in there. And it's really pretty. And then some of her brown shows through. So it's not entirely red, but she looks really good with red hair. So she went to this place. They took 7 hours to do her hair. Then they told her that she may have to go out with a wet head, and they were not going to have time to cut her hair, which was also part of what she had told them she wanted. So then when they did her hair, and she told them, she's like, well, I cannot go out with wet head. I mean, it was snowing there. They already had 7 inches on the ground while she was there, and they wanted her to go out with a wet head. And she said, no, I'm not going out with a wet head. You're going to have to dry it or give me a blow dryer and I'll do it myself. But I'm not paying for you to blow out my hair when I am doing it. So she did get her hair blown out. And then she got to the car and she said, it looks absolutely horrible. So she sent me a picture, and I didn't want to say anything. I didn't want to hurt her feelings. I didn't want to upset her, because she's young and she's one of those that has always been concerned about her hair. It's always been her thing. So I didn't say anything until she's the one that told me. She's like, it looks horrible. So I told her, I said, I wouldn't say it looks horrible, but it is nothing like what you told them that you wanted. And I would tell them, this has got to be toned down. You cannot go like this. And to me, it looked pumpkin orange. And so I was upset when I saw it. I didn't say anything to her that I really didn't like it. But 'cause I wasn't going to say that, because I knew that really, really upset her. And I didn't want to upset her. She was already upset enough. And when she gets upset, her anxiety comes out, and it just becomes really rough. So anyway, I told her, I said, you need to tell them that you're not happy with this. This is not what you wanted. You need something done. And she said, I made an appointment for Tuesday with them to go back and to get my hair cut. And she said that she could tone it down a little bit by doing something. And if she had time. And I'm like, oh no, there's no time. You already had your appointment. She should not have taken 7 hours to do your hair. That's absolutely ridiculous. So anyway, the more she thought about it, she's like, I really don't want to go back to her. Those people were rude. They did not do what I wanted them to do. Now my hair looks like it's damaged, and I'm just not going to go back. So she called on Saturday and talked to them. This was on Friday when she got her hair done. So she called on Saturday, said she wanted to talk to a manager, because the girl that the stylist, would not call her back, would not talk to her, because she knew that she messed up. So I told her, I said, call and ask for a manager. So she did, and they said on Saturday, we don't have a manager that's here. So Madison said, then I need you to call your manager and tell your manager to call me. I really need to talk to somebody. I can't go to work like this. So she was able to wear a hat at work. They didn't care. So she wore a hat, and she showed a couple of people, and they said, oh, it's not bad. And I think they were just being nice, because they don't really know her yet. You know, they don't want to hurt her feelings, which I thought was sweet, but it did look really, really bad. And so she finally got a message back. She was able to message the salon. She left a message on Saturday, and on Sunday she got a message, and it just said, well, you know, thanks for coming here, and we look forward to serving you again. We'll be able to cut your hair, and this is a process, so it's going to take some time to get to what you want. And Madison said, well, I don't think that they're going to give me a refund or anything on this, and they're going to charge me to come in and get my hair done. And this place was very expensive. Well, I shouldn't say very expensive. It's your typical salon, what you're going to pay to get your hair colored. So it wasn't outrageous, but it was, you know, it wasn't cheap either. So she sent another message and she said, this is not a process, because this should have just been a partial highlight, what I wanted added to what I already had. And this was not a process. I have pumpkin orange hair. So they did not respond back, and she was going to dispute it with her credit card company just to see if there's something that she can do. She does have an appointment, or she did. Today's Monday for me. She had an appointment for Monday to go somewhere else, and she sent him a picture, and he's like, well, I've got a couple of ideas that we can do. And he said it should not have come out like that. It should not have taken this long. And he said, I'll make it right. But of course, it's another place, and she's going to have to pay for it. So I don't know yet, because she has not had her appointment as of me recording this. So I will have to give you guys an update. But she never, ever complains. And I don't either. It has to be horribly, horribly bad before we will say, you know, I'm sorry, I'm not happy with this, you know, or whatever. And she had told them a couple of times before she sent them the email. And she said, even if they don't give me my money back, I'm really concerned about going there. And she said the receptionist was really nasty when I called, and I don't want to go back. So, you know, I don't blame her. So I don't know, she may have just lost her money, and yet it is another life lesson that she's going to have to learn. She's learning quite a few life lessons lately. The chiropractor was one of them, and now this. So maybe she will eventually learn some life lessons and everything will be okay. And there's nothing, you know, I can't protect her. She's not home anymore, and she's an adult, so she is going to have to do this. But I'm proud of her, because normally she would not complain. She would just not go there. She would ignore their messages, and she would just go somewhere else. But now that it's her money, I think that's part of the difference, is that mom didn't pay for this, she did. And, you know, she didn't like the fact that she lost money that she had to work really hard, you know, to earn. So I will have to give you an update on the orange hair, but it does look like she's going to have to do something, moisturizer, you know, or something, because it looks like the top doesn't look as healthy as it did. And she works hard to have really pretty hair. She has long hair. And so I feel really bad. I know that she's not going to have it cut short, and she won't have it cut short. She just wants it, just the ends trimmed, because they hadn't been trimmed in a while. So we will see. And I remember, you know, being that age, and I was the same way with my hair. Paige, not so much, but Madison has always been very, very particular on her hair. I've actually gotten quite a bit done, and these aren't popping like the other ones. So maybe it's just me. I'm also trying to do the checkerboard method on this, on the ones that I can. This does have a lot of confetti. I'm hoping when I get up a little bit more that it's not going to have as much confetti, because it's taken a long time, and I like confetti, but for these squares, it's just a little much. And it's even hard on some of this to do checkerboard, because there's not even enough that I can do checkerboard with. And that's why I've been changing colors quite a bit. Let's see. As for diamond painting, what is going on? I did 4 videos last week. And one that I did is a series, and I'm hoping that you enjoy my little series. I have several diamond paintings from Diamond Art Club, and I haven't unboxed those. And instead of just going through and unboxing them whenever I get to them, I thought that I would go ahead and show you what I have in my stash for Diamond Art Club. And last week I did one artist. And so if you have a chance, take a look at that. And that one was on Hannah Lynn. I did miss 2 of my Hannah Lynn paintings. One, thanks to my subscriber Deborah, reminded me that I had that one. I had it over where I keep my larger paintings, and I don't know, I just did not think about that one was hers. And so I am going to do that one. I'll do that one with the other one. And I've got a new one in, and that is the mermaid that just came out from Diamond Art Club. And so that one I will unbox. I may go ahead and do that this week, so that will give me all of my Hannah Lynn's. So I may have an extra unboxing, extra video this week. I'm trying to do 4 videos a week. I don't want to overburden all of you with videos. I may end up having more videos though until I can get these done, but I will go ahead and have the 2 Hannah Lynn's. That way that will show all my Hannah Lynn collection that I have right now. And then this week is going to be Mandy Manzano. So you will see those on Saturday. I thought I'll just do it on Saturday, so it'll be the same day on every week. There's a lot of those. I need to go ahead and get those out and let them just sit for a little bit so they are kind of straightening themselves out. But there's so many, I'm not even really sure where I can put them. I don't want to put them on my dining room table because that's where we usually eat. And I don't want anything to get spilled on them, or, you know, they're in the way. If I put them at the end, it might be okay. I could put them in the floor in my craft room, but I don't want my animals stepping on them. So I don't know, but I'll figure that one out. But you'll see that on Saturday. And then I have a video that I did of unboxing from Diamond Painting Deutschland. And that one is for the event that we are hosting. And that one is going to come out, I believe, this week or next week. It just really depends. And I am going to work on kitting that one up. It's going to take me a while. I'm not doing that one on my channel, but I'm going to show you the process that I did once I finish it. So that is going to be this week as well. And then I am going to show you my progress on my cross stitch conversion. And instead of doing that at the end or the beginning of the month with my other WIPs, I want to go ahead and show you this time what that one looks like, because I have made some changes on how I am doing that. So I'm going to show you that one. So you may see 5 videos this week instead of 4. I may even have 6. I'm not sure. There's another one that came in that I want to unbox, and that one is from Dreamer Designs. And I have seen that Kim has gotten that one. I knew that she had ordered, and when it went out of stock, and then when it came back in stock, she told me that it was in stock. So I ran and got it because I missed it on the first go around. And that one is huge. And I don't want to watch her unboxing yet until I unbox mine, because I want to be excited. So you'll see that one sometime. I'm not really sure when. So I have a lot that I have planned. I just have to decide when I'm going to roll everything out, the best time to do that. and I have 2 kitting downs and finishes that I want to show you. So I do have, at least I know what I'm going to be doing. I have plenty that I can do. I have a lot of unboxings, but I don't want to do too many unboxings at one time. I don't really have any small shop hauls. I did purchase another container storage from Art Dot, and I'm not sure how I'm going to do that one. I may just use that one when I kit up and just show you that one when I do kit up instead of just having a video. And last Friday, I didn't even mention this, last Friday was my 1-year YouTube anniversary. And that was a lot of fun for me. I was just really surprised. I looked back at some of my older videos. I looked at my videos now, and wow, what a difference a year makes. I am more confident. I can tell that I'm more confident based on older videos, and they just look better. They sound better. And it's been a lot of fun. And I'm getting closer to 1,000. I have about 150 more to go, and that is my magical number. I really want to hit 1,000, and I will. I'm not upset that I didn't hit it by my 1-year anniversary. I am just really excited that I have so many of you following me after just a year. It just amazes me. But I'm having so much fun with my channel, and when I'm going to do something in diamond painting, then I start thinking, would this be good for the channel, or should I just do this, by myself? And I did go ahead and kit up one night. I was just sitting around the house. I thought, I think I'm going to kit up Dragon Lady from Lazy River. And so I just kind of sat back and I kitted up, and I thought, this feels weird to kit up and not be recording. But I am making progress on that one. And wow, you talk about confetti. That one is full of confetti on the bottom portion anyway, but it is going to be really pretty. So I'm going to have updates on that one through Instagram. And then also I'll have an update on my channel whenever I do my February reviews, and that will be the first week of March. One other thing that I wanted to mention, that if you have not heard about Craftably, go out and look at a video that they did. I'm sure that everyone has heard because it's been out there quite a bit, but Craftably as a company, they're struggling a little bit, and they needed the community in a way that we as a community really haven't had the chance to bond together like that we did, or that I'm aware of. But Craftably had a really big sale last week, and a lot of their paintings were half off or even more. So I did pick up 2. That's been in my wish list for a long time. I wanted to, help them. I wanted to support their channel, and that was one way to do that. They also offered, if you wanted to pay for your shipping rather than have your shipping free, if you qualified for shipping, that you could just donate. So I did that, and hopefully all of the community rallying together and their shop having such good sales, hopefully that is going to help them to continue. I don't know what is left on their website. They had other items besides diamond painting, but I was just interested in the diamond painting. Didn't really look at anything else because I'm already in enough crafts and I just can't start on another one. But if you get a chance and you want to pick up a diamond painting or just see what they have, That's other crafting. Now that there has, that is, I can't really see, but I think that has a little bit of the plastic. But so I did order a couple from them, and I will unbox those when they do come in. But I really was so excited to see how well the community all, bonded together, and they wanted to help out this company. Their customer service has always been just really good. So it was nice to be able to help somebody out. But I really do hope that they are able to stay in business and continue with their amazing canvases, because I love their canvases. I love their products. Now these are sliding around. I love their products, and I'm sure that a lot of you do as well. So hats off to everybody in the community, and hats off to Craftably for actually reaching out and letting the community know that, they are having some issues and that, they could use some help, because a lot of companies wouldn't do that. But I like how transparent that they've been, especially on those pre-orders that took 9 months to get in 2021. And they let everybody know, immediately, the updates and what was going on and why that they were so behind. And instead of just keeping everyone guessing, they let the community know why that, they weren't able to get these pre-orders in. So I think that is all that I had to go over today. Let me know what you've been up to, and if there's anything that you would like to see on my channel. I have a long list of things I would like to do. And one being, finish this one. But it turned out really cute. I'm going to kind of pan out a little bit. Maybe you can see what I have done on this canvas. I've done more than what you have seen. Let's see. So there is the rabbit. That's where I started finally getting excited about this, about up around here, because I really like how the blue is coming out with the rabbit. And these are in here really good. I mean, there's not any gaps that I can see, but it's just some of these are popping a little bit. But I love like her little socks there, and I've got to finish this section here. And then I have this small section over here that I'm working on, and then I will post my update to Instagram, because that will be another row completed. I'm almost halfway. After I complete the next row, I will finally be halfway on this, and so hopefully it will speed up some. I hope that you enjoyed my WiP Chat today, and until next time, happy diamond painting. Bye.